Hey everyone, this is Seth. I'm a mentor at Studio NPL, and this is the last video I've planned in a series about how to make your own podcast at home using free tools and things you may already have laying around. The first two videos in this series were about how to record and edit your own podcast by yourself and with friends, so all there is left to do is to publish it for people to be able to find it and listen. Like the other videos in this series, I'll show you a couple different ways to post your podcast online, and each has their own benefits and drawbacks. To do this, essentially what you have to do is host your file online and then submit an RSS feed of your file hosting to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or other major podcast services. So I'll explain a couple of these things before showing you some ways to tackle them. First, I'll explain a podcast host. Essentially, this allows you to store your files online. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and all the major podcast directories don't actually store your files. They just kind of gather them and allow people to stream and download it from your hosting site. So hosting your podcast online is a major step to make it accessible to your listeners. Next up is RSS feed. RSS originally stood for Rich Site Summary, and now it also means Really Simple Syndication. RSS feeds are mainly used for news websites and blogs as a way to notify subscribers whenever new content is posted instead of having to go to those websites manually each day. This is also a key component for podcasting because it allows podcast directories to be notified whenever your hosting site has a new episode. So it'll get the episode title, episode description, the artwork, runtime, and the file itself, and it's able to compile that all for people on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and other places to listen to podcasts. Most podcast hosting services cost a monthly rate to be able to store your episodes, as well as pay for the data transfer of people downloading it and listening to it, but there are some free alternatives to this. Two free options that I found that seem to be the most user-friendly are Spreaker and Anchor, but in exchange for free use of their platform, they do have the ability to post advertisements in your content without much control over it from you. Like most free services and platforms on the internet, the terms and conditions exchange part of your content ownership to the platform so that you can use it. There are other free options for hosting your podcast online, but many of them limit the amount of storage that you have for the amount of episodes or how long these episodes are hosted. Some people use YouTube since it has free video storage that's unlimited, but then your podcast isn't hosted on any of the major podcast directories. The two free options that I found are the best to me because of the unlimited storage and also directly posting to different podcast directories and simplifying that process. The service Anchor also has a mobile app that allows you to record and edit a podcast directly in the app, and then you can post it immediately. They also have ways for you to record with friends over this app too. Before I walk through signing up for one of these services and getting your podcast posted, you need a couple things. First, a name for your podcast. You need at least one episode, an episode title and description, and also podcast artwork. To be accepted on major podcast directories, you need artwork that is a 1:1 aspect ratio, so the shape of a square, and you need a high resolution image for it, so at least 3,000 pixels by 3,000 pixels. So I have the website for Spreaker pulled up in front of me. I'm on their homepage, and I'm going to go to their plans and pricing option. Here you see, of course, they have different paid options for more professional podcasters or anything like that, and they have more features with each of these, including like more statistics and more customization and things like that. But for just uploading a podcast and getting it distributed on major platforms, the free speech option is the one that you want to click join on. So here's where you can sign up for an account, and you want to make sure you read any terms and conditions or privacy policies just to make sure that you know what they're doing with your content and you know how much of your content you own when you post it on a free service like this. So once you sign up for this, I'll show you the next page. So once you make your account, it takes you to this screen, and to upload your podcast, just go to the Create tab at the top. And so they give you a few options. You can make your first podcast. They also have an app that allows you to record and publish episodes or do live stream podcasts that you can use. Or if you already have one and you want to import it to this service, you can do it by using this import feature. But we're just going to go to create our first podcast. So in the podcast creation page, it's just asking you to put in a bunch of information like the title for your podcast. Language and category are both ways that allow podcast directories to categorize it a little bit better and make people find it more easily based off similar interests or if it's related to another podcast they like. And obviously language, depending on what language podcasts you want to listen to. You upload a cover image, and then also down here at the bottom, the description is basically just telling people what kind of podcast you have. So click create, So now we're at this dashboard for the podcast. Now that we've created it, you can upload episodes with this yellow button, or you can directly record episodes straight to this website. I've already uploaded a sample one. It's actually the sample podcast that I edited in the first video about how to make and edit them. I'm going to go to the options here. You want to make sure that your podcast is published. Sometimes it initially uploads as a draft just in case you want to edit anything. But once you're ready to publish, click publish. That will be at the bottom of the screen. And then for visibility, you also want it to be public so that anybody can listen to it. And then once all that information is to your liking, we're ready to distribute the podcast. So I'll go over here to this distribution panel. From here, you have all the major podcast directories, and they each have different requirements to submit. For Apple Podcasts, you have to log into their Podcast Connect portal using your Apple ID and manage it that way. For Spotify, I was easily able to click submit, and it had a Spotify page for it. And it's already uploaded to Spreaker's podcast directory. Another major one is Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio. And any of these other ones that you want to distribute to, it cannot hurt you to be on as many platforms as possible. Now, each of these podcast distributors do have different requirements for the amount of time it takes for them to get posted, so it may take a little while for it to be ready to go. It may not be immediate, but that's the easiest way to distribute all of your podcasts using this free tool. Now you're just able to log in through there and upload any future episodes you want to post, and they should be able to be found on all those other platforms. So that's about it for this video series on how to record and edit your podcast at home and then distribute it as simply as possible. But if you have any questions that you think of, put them in the comments and I'll see if I can't answer them for you. I'll put some links at the end of this video for some of the resources that I used, as well as some other lists and articles that were useful to me that may inform your decisions on which platforms to use or any other choices that you have to make along the way. And thanks for watching.
Hey, senior class of 2020, have you heard of the Don't Rush Challenge? If so, Studio NPL would love to challenge you to do this challenge, but we would love to see you transform into your senior cap and gown. If you're willing to do this challenge, make sure when you share your video, you use the hashtag Studio NPL. Who knows? We may even use your video on our YouTube channel. We're looking forward to getting your videos. See you soon.
Don't rush, slow touch, brown and white. Like I go country, grab and buy. We can go bust, eye for eye.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Studio NPL's How-To segment. I'm Rebecca Stone, your Studio NPL mentor, and this is the segment where you get to teach us something. We just got a new video in from Wiley. Wiley's in 7th grade, and he's going to teach us how to boil an egg. Thanks, Wale. Wow, that was a great job editing your video. And I got my eggs here. I'm ready to try your boiling techniques. In fact, I'm even going to spin them when I'm done just to see how that works. That was pretty cool. Thanks for showing us that. If you have a how-to video you'd like to send to us that we could air, send it to studionplnashville@gmail.com.
Hey guys, this is Rhett McDonald, your Teen Center music mentor, and I'm going to talk to you about the 7 cowboy chords to play virtually any song. I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet. I'm just going to tilt the camera down a little bit to see the guitar neck and just show you the chords. Okay, so when you're playing the key of G, you're going to start with the G chord, go to the C chord. Those are the same chord, but these are just little different inversions of them. The D chord. Those might be your most common cowboy chords. So, and in the relevance of the Nashville number system, which we'll talk about at another time, this is 1, 4, 5. So G, C, D. Also, you'll have the 2, the A. Now that's an A minor, that's an A major. You'll have your 3 chord, the B, that's a B minor, that's a B major. So we've done our 1, 4, 5, the 2, and the 3. In order, obviously, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have your 6th chord, the E, oftentimes the E minor in this key of G. That's your E major. Then you'll have your 7, the F. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now a great resource for getting the exact fingering of these chords, because it just is a little confusing for me to sit here and show you when this is reversed, because I'm on a front-facing laptop camera. That's just really confusing. The best resource is ultimateguitar.com. It's a tablature website. It'll show you the tabs to any song that is relatively guitar driven. So it really just shows you where you put your finger on each string, how to play each one of these chords. So knock yourselves out. Those are the 7 cowboy chords to play virtually any song.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Stone, your Studio NPL photography and video production mentor. Recently, we checked in with Will Harper. Will is our 3D design mentor that you've probably seen at our East Branch, our Green Hills Branch, and downtown at the main branch. He teaches all types of great skills that have to do with 3D designing. And this last month, he's been using those skills for some really important causes. Let's check in with him and see what he's been up to.
Hey, so we're here at Make Nashville in the 3D printing lab with a whole bunch of 3D printed visors and a couple masks. I had a couple weeks ago the goal to 3D print a sculpture every day of the month, and I could show you those, but they're not very relevant or important right now. It didn't take long before I realized that these machines could be put to much better use in producing helpful PPE, or personal protective equipment, for first responders and those on the front line in the medical community. So we're just cranking out as much of these as we can. We've got a bunch of our members at home using their personal printers and networking with other people in the Middle Tennessee area who have either professional businesses or just hobbyists with these machines, and they can help protect those who need it the most right now, so we can keep everybody who's sick well taken care of and minimize the damage from the coronavirus. So I'm just tying some elastic to use for this headband. This is the face shield design that we started printing last week, and we printed probably about, 40, 50, 60, a whole bunch of them. I still really like this design. This one does have an advantage, I would say, mostly in that there's a lot of space in between the part that goes on your forehead and the part that holds the face shield on the front. you get about like 2.5 inches, 2 inches, so that if you're wearing a mask or something underneath it, you got a lot of space for it. Like this mask I'm wearing here, this is actually made, it's called the Foo design. It is made to specifically fit over an R95 rated mask. You can wear it without anything under it, but it fits really nicely over the regular issued medical masks. And Taylor Winston from Country Rebel Hill here has CNC laser cutters, and I thought about him the other day about getting some of the visors laser cut. And as soon as I contacted him, he said, I'm already cutting, designing patterns that can be sewn into these masks. And we've had volunteers from Hands on Nashville in here sewing, helping us sew. And it's some people are taking them home and staying socially isolated. It's really nice. Some of them are in progress. We're also using up all the elastic in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Sibley. I usually come to Studio NPL because I have nowhere else to be until my mom gets off work.
I'm Rico Hendricks. I like to explore. It's like a whole bunch of stuff I can do here. It's like I can record in there, I can make beats, I can take pictures and do all that. It's just a lot of access stuff that I don't got at home, like I don't have at home. So I come here, have fun until 6 o'clock, till it close.
Hi, I am Carly Freeman. I come here to learn. I come here to learn about music, film, and even to learn about the careers.
My name is Jared Hall. I come to the studio, or Studio NPL, because I love to learn a lot more about the things that are here and use the resources here, as there aren't as many resources anywhere else for me to go to. And it was just a great experience, and I felt like a family was here that I could just be a part of.
Hi, I'm Dantes Jones. It's like, it's mind resting and, away from a lot of drama and let me just ease my mind.
Since I've been coming here, I've learned how to use Adobe products, like Adobe Flash. It's called Animate now. I've been using Photoshop and other things like that here.
My name's Emma Yarbrough. I've learned more about pretty much everything. Like piano, cameras, lighting, music, robots.
I'm D'Antonio Muse. Come here a lot. I've learned more about using, I would say, microphones and cables, learning how they work and how to arrange them to get better sound, get better recordings.
My name is Caleb Dunlap. I've learned how to 3D design on the computer, and I've learned how to use the vinyl cutter.
I've learned how to use the synthesizer. That's really fun. I've also learned a lot about the music technology and the film technology that they have available at Studio NPL.
My name is Corey Jenkins. I'm a high school senior at Whites Creek High School, and I also sing, rap, produce, all that good stuff. Yeah. The one important piece of technology that I have learned how to use is Machine. That is revolutionary. Like, before Machine, my beats were terrible, and then I found Machine, and boom, it was beautiful. It was a great, wonderful, it was like it was just my mind blown. Yeah, but if it wasn't for Studio NPL, I probably wouldn't know how to use it.
Hi, my name is Yusuf Ibrahim. I have learned how to use a 3D printer, a Carbide 3D, which is another 3D printer, and 3D doodlers, and a lot of other cameras. I'd like to pursue a career in animation or cartooning kind of things.
So I have three main careers that I would like to pursue. One is electrical engineering, one is computer science, like software development, and my last one is sound design. That's where my audio production comes into play.
home and let go.
Yeah, I'm Yasmin and 14. A career I would like to pursue, like in the future, would be like directing cinema movies or screenwriting.
I want to do something with music, whether it's artists or producing or something like that.
I'm really interested in writing for the entertainment industry, so I would love to write for musical theater. I would also love to write for film and possibly songwriting.
I think the career that I would like to pursue would definitely be something that deals with music, if not just sound in general, like an engineer.
Studio NPL has taught me a lot about video production and the careers it has. Like, for example, second unit directing and just regular directing and editing videos and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, it taught me a whole lot. Like my whole career been at Studio NPL.
Studio NPL has definitely helped me a lot with trying to follow my career in music and learning it, as far as giving me resources to work and use. And so having that here in a nice little spot where it's a lot more comfortable and a great safe environment where everybody's trying to learn, it just feels like we're all feeding off of each other, and it's just a really cool experience to have.
Yeah, I work on team. All right, good. Yeah.
I definitely feel a lot more comfortable in my work coming to the studio. I think that they really try to give the student a great more chance of just learning instead of just kind of pushing them in certain directions. It's like, we'll give you this, but we want you to make sure that you at least feel comfortable with what you're doing, and they will definitely keep giving you a push at least enough to come back and learn more and just thrive.
I feel more confident showing my work because it's been a friendly environment.
I feel very confident because it's like at first I used to just be playing, but now that I can do that with y'all, it's like it make me feel like I'm good.
I do feel more confident in my work now. I love to be able to share my work with people who are in the industry or have experience. And it's really built my confidence to hear their feedback about my work.
You know you want to take the leap, so just step out and just keep moving down.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very confident here, a lot more than I thought I would be ever.
I feel more confident about my music simply because since I've been coming here, everybody has gave nothing but positive answers towards my music, and there's not been one song that anybody has disliked.
Yeah, I definitely feel more confident in both science and video.
See, before Studio NPL, I didn't really think I could really do well in music. I mean, I could write and I could rap and whatever, and that's fine. But I didn't really know the whole process. And now with it, I feel more confident saying, yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter, or I'm a producer, or I'm a rapper or a singer, whatever. Because they taught me how to use the technology, and they taught me how to, different things about how to say things and how to produce music.
I love the social element here. I love getting to work with kids who have similar interests. I love getting to work with everyone here. It's a really great experience. Everyone's so supportive in this environment.
You just develop really close relationships with the people that come here.
Oh yeah, I done met so many people here. I got so many new friends, so many people I'm working with musically and all that. It's just great. It's great. I done met, it's a lot of people, and I like coming here.
Everyone here is friendly and supportive of everyone else.
We'll just be outside and somebody will hop on the drums and somebody will hop on the piano. You never know what can happen, man. It's just great. I love the social aspect. Anything is possible at Studio NPL. We'll have a group of guys get in a circle and start rapping. Two people will hook up and start singing. It's great. The social aspect is great. It's great.
Yeah, Studio NPL is definitely a great place for young people to come and learn new things or just try them out, just to see if that's what you want to do.
I mean, it's pretty much like a very nerdy, compact Disneyland.
program's like open for any creativity.
And we want you to play here. We got corn dogs, bouncy houses, play.
1 month we did art pods, and like we got to do like whatever we want with like a 4x4 box, and it was like that was really fun to do.
I like 3D printing and the special activities that come on daily.
I really enjoy learning something new each time. I also really enjoy the fact that I get to work with students who are interested in the same things I'm interested in. I also enjoy working with mentors who are involved in careers I'm interested in.
I learned a lot here, and I'm able to keep progressing on my skills here.
It's real organized. I love the organization.
I think what's working well with this program at Studio NPL is just how friendly and comfortable it is that's working here. Like, it's not like you walk in and it's just like, it feels like school. It feels like you're coming, like, let me try to put it in better perspective. It feels like, well, it is a workshop. Like, you get to come in, you get to share what you know, but they also help you to grow and know more about what you're trying to do. And it's not just kind of like they're forcing. It's just like, if you like this, you can dabble in this, but if you don't, we have more things to offer. I think that's a great experience, because there are a lot of other places where it's like you might want to do something, but it's not there, and they don't want you to do things like that. It's more focused on certain aspects instead of just what you like to do.
So thank you, Studio NPL, for the opportunity.
Or press 1 for more options.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Stone, your Studio NPL photography and film production mentor, and today we're going to talk about lighting tips to help make your films a little more professional. One technique that you want to consider is to use natural lighting. Now, when I say natural light, that means using light from a window or maybe filming outside. When using natural light, if you are using a window for your source of light, one thing to consider is where your actors are standing. You don't want to shoot with them directly in front of the window because it could show a silhouette of your actor, unless you have another lighting source, which then you could light your actor's face. If you don't have that lighting source, just move them off to the side, use the light from the window without them standing directly in front of the window. Another thing to think about when you are shooting using natural lighting is to make sure your camera is set for daylight balanced light. Okay, so another tip is using indoor lighting. Now, on some professional movie sets, you might see a movie light like the one I have next to me. You might not have access to that, so you could use a lamp. Something to think about when using a lamp, maybe take the shade off if there's a shade covering the bulb to make the light more bright for you. But at this point, you might have to bounce or diffuse the light. What that does is make it a little bit more even, so you just don't have this bright light on your actor, unless that's a certain mood you're kind of going for. So if you're wanting to diffuse or bounce light, here are a couple tips on doing that. One is to have the light directed towards something white, like a ceiling or a wall, and then that light will bounce back on your actor, which is what I'm doing right here, so you can kind of see how that's done. Another example would be to diffuse the light. Now, on a professional movie set, you'll see diffusion paper, which they'll cover the light. You could use a sheet or a pillowcase or a white towel, just a nice diffusion product that would help make that light softer so it's not so bright on your actors. All right, so when you're using a diffuser of some sort, whether it's that pillowcase or the sheet or diffuser paper, something you need to think about is to do it in a safe manner. You do not want to lay some sort of cloth or paper on top of a hot lamp or a hot bulb because you do not want anything to catch fire. So be aware of where you're placing it. Is it touching the bulb? Is it touching something hot? So you want to always make sure you're doing that in a safe manner. So our final tip today on some lighting techniques on making your films look more professional is when you are using any of these lighting techniques to be aware of your shadows. Thinking about your mood, your energy, what are you trying to get across to your audience is going to make a difference on where the shadows are on your actors. If they have some dark shadows under their eyes, under their chin, on their face, if your lighting is coming up from underneath the actors, that could cause a certain energy or mood. Is the lighting coming from above to the side? I mean, you really want to kind of pay attention to where those shadows are falling. Is the shadow of the actor falling on the wall behind them? Is the shadows of your crew falling around them? So just always be aware of your lighting shadows that are happening due to where your lighting is placed. So you might have to change your lighting to help make those shadows work for you or to remove them entirely. So the next time you are sitting at home watching your movies, which if you're like me, pretty much every night is movie night right now, pay attention to how they are lighting the scenes. Think about it when you're watching your movie. Where is that light coming from? Above, below, sideways? Is it a real soft diffused light? Is it a direct light? Is it a natural light? Is it an indoor light? Just kind of pay attention the next time you're watching your favorite movie, and you might see how that director or the lighting cinematographer chose to light that scene. And I'll give you some tips to try it on your next movie. Okay, I hope this helped you make your film a little bit more professional. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, studionplnashville@gmail.com.